Today, I'm going to share my deepest regrets in my many years in the world of dance sports. And so, number one, there was a coach that moved to my town that was a successful dancer on paper. And my coaches warned us, do not take with this person. They do not know what they're doing. They don't produce good dancers. They are vindictive if you stop taking from them. And frankly, I had friends that were competitors as well that gave me the same warning. But, you know, when you're going up the ranks, you're desperate to get better. And yeah, I signed up for a 10-lesson package. And probably that is the biggest regret of my entire competitive career. I realized like 2 lessons in, oh my gosh, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. They only just spout what the syllabus book says, which is not how championship people dance this day and age. That is a great foundation, but they were clueless and they were saying things that were not only different than all the previous coaching I was taking from current and former world champions, much better dancers, but in direct conflict. And so I prepaid for 10 lessons, which was quite a bit of money. And then I'm like, you know, we are busy people. We're not just going to show up to 10 lessons to undo what we have invested hundreds of $1,000s in training for. I didn't ask for a refund. I did not want, you know, to make an enemy. I'll just say I ghosted them, very immature. And, you know, I probably would have made a bitter lifelong enemy either way, but this person was so angry and they did judge a lot. And they were, to say vindictive with their marks would be an understatement. They never even called us back out of a single round since we stopped taking coaching. And they would write like articles for, you know, different dance rags and just, for example, you know, we won Seattle Star Ball. And instead of calling it championship level, they just kept on saying open and open, in their article, I think just to make us not look accomplished or something. And then they kept on talking about how amazing the second place couple was, even though it was a vast difference between first and second. And I am 100% confident had I just continued dropping money on this person, and they would have tooted our horn and totally supported us in their mark. So that is a massive regret. I don't necessarily regret stopping. I only took lessons I wanted to take, but I do horribly regret not listening to my coaches. Very disrespectful to them and damaging to my career. Okay, number 2, I really regret not waiting until the next private lesson to resolve disagreements with my dance partner. It is very easy to fritter away an entire hour of your practice debating something that you, as the students, do not have the answer to. And even if you're just kind of seeing a maintenance local coach to be the referee, so to speak, between, you know, seeing your hardcore coaches that you might have to fly to, oh my gosh, you know, I'm just sharing my mistakes with you so you don't make the same mistake. Just smile, nod, okay, don't argue, do it your partner's way, whether you're the leader or the follow. You know what? Sometimes you have to lose the battle to win the war. You're going to get another lesson soon, and at that point, let the teacher decide. And honestly, guys, usually it's something totally different than either of you think is what the solution is. So do that. Okay. Next up, I wish I would have learned the leads part sooner. So as you may know, I lost my partner, my competitive partner at the pro championship level, within a week of opening the largest ballroom dance studio in the country. And at that point, you know, there was no pressure on me to lead. We could just swap our students back and forth. Frankly, he never really learned how to follow. It didn't matter. And I think it would have eliminated a substantial amount of that stress of just having an inferiority complex. And guys, no worries. If you don't know the leads part or the follows part, really easy to learn it once you are an accomplished dancer. Super fast, but it was really terrifying. And I would have saved myself a ton of stress if I had just really cracked down while we were competing, even as amateurs, to learn the other part. Plus, I feel it would have made me a more empathetic partner in practice, because you know what, the other person's part is not as easy as you think. Okay, number 4, I really regret allowing myself to be used, and that would take place, I'm just saying, financially. So for example, every time we traveled to England, which was 3 times a year for Blackpool, the International, the UK Open, those were the major comps over there. You know, came with a big posse of friends. So there was kind of a group of us that took from the exact same coaches. We were all friends, so we would all travel to these comps together, right? And I was the only one that would rent a car often. And so I became the de facto taxi driver, picking everyone up from where they're staying, taking them to their studio, taking them to the comp, picking them up from the airport, whatever. I was basically a taxi driver, which is fine. But honestly, guys, not once did any of them offer to repay me in any way. And my coaches saw this happening and they were like, you know, do not let yourself be used. They are using you. And I'm just not good at advocating for myself. So although I felt it, I knew it was happening, I just kept on giving. And I love giving, but you know what? I was scraping it together at that time, just like anyone else. I used and saved every penny I could to spend on my dancing. And I frankly spent a ton of money because it's not cheap to rent a car over there. And if you've traveled in Europe, you know how much darn money you drop on fuel. It is expensive. And I really wish I just would have stood up for myself. I'm not angry at them at all. I'm sharing my regrets, and regrets means it's something I did wrong and I should have advocated for myself. You know, they probably just thought I was made of money because I never asked for anything. You know, they'd be like, oh, we don't have a car. We can't get food. Can you pick up XYZ for us? And never bothered to pay me back for anything. And so going back in time, I wish I could have changed that just because it would have given me that much more money to spend on my dancing. So anyway, that's my 2 cents, guys. I hope you enjoyed that story. If you've had a regret in your ballroom dance career, I would appreciate hearing that because I'm sure hoping I'm not the only one. And I sure hope that maybe, you know, you'll hear some of these mistakes I made along the way and be able to avoid them. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoy all things ballroom dance, hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be back first thing in the morning with another topic in the world of ballroom dance. And if you have questions, hey, comment below. If you disagree with what I'm saying, hey, comment below as well. I am just one person in the world of ballroom dancers, and I love hearing all your stories. And all of us here on our channel love hearing your stories, not just mine. So anyway, guys, have a wonderful day. Happy dancing. See you in the morning.